As I look back and reflect on this year, I have experienced a lot of hardship in the name of recovery. It has made me go between numbing out and feeling too much, particularly too much of the idea of so many eyes on me, people judging my journey and me worrying about what that journey looked like to other people. In regards to my professional life, this led to me searching for jobs because I understood that I was really early on in the developmental process of my business, and I still am. And I was afraid that maybe it wouldn't work after all. So I thought that I had to prepare for that. I was frustrated because I applied for job after job and didn't get an interview. I felt like I was a failure and that I wasn't going to be able to get another job again. But there was something pivotal that I was not taking into account. I slowly realized that I was the walking dead in the present and that my mind was flung worrying about the past, regretting decisions I'd made, and my mind was equally caught up in the future. Worrying about how everything could go wrong and how I'd continue to be and feel like a failure. So I decided to do a life audit, and I created a blank page in GoodNotes for a mind map brain dump. At the center of the page, I wrote, "There is a solution, I just have to find it." One solution was to completely convert into a new career path. The second solution was to apply for more positions. And the last solution was honestly to stop freaking around and actually put my all into content creation. For several days, I wasn't sure what was the right path, but then I asked if I could do a guest lecture at my alma mater. So, a few months ago, I went to an alumni event at my college. And I had the opportunity to reconnect with some people that I hadn't seen for a long time since I'd graduated. And I also got to meet some new people. I graduated from the Honors College at College of Charleston, and I was able to reconnect with some people that I hadn't seen in a long time, as well as some new faces, some people I haven't met before. And I had the opportunity to meet this professor who is doing a writing class this semester. And we were talking a lot because I'd written my book and I talked about how much I love storytelling and writing. And he said, if you want to come out to my class, you can do that. And that is what I am doing today. This was my first guest lecture ever in my life. So I was excited and terrified. The class ended up being in my old dorm residence hall, in the class where I did my freshman first year experience class. And during the hour-long class, I decided to talk to the honor students about story and communicating your story no matter the medium, whether it's in your resume or a novel or a newsletter. And at the end of it all, they clapped for me. They asked me questions. They took notes, and some even shook their heads like what I was saying resonated with them. We did a couple writing exercises, and after the class was over, the professor stressed how much he liked the lecture and how well it went. And this meant a lot, considering I was an honors college graduate myself. I was stunned because whenever I've had to present, it's been in the context of school. And it's usually required weeks of research, stress, and lots of time not having a passion for the topic. And don't get me wrong, I assembled a slideshow, wrote myself an outline, and made sure to prepare examples for the students, provide the students with resources, and it wasn't easy, but also, yes, it was. Were there things I could continue to improve? Definitely. But this felt like I was in my element. I was so happy I was celebrating in the car as I drove home. Then I did a little bit of a life audit of the past year. I've struggled with getting interviews for all the jobs I've applied for, and I was struggling to wrap my head around switching careers. But this year, in connection to Ebony Escape, I co-founded a book festival this year, spoke at the Black Ink Book Festival this year, made connections in relation to my business. I'm lined up to be a panelist for a book festival next year, and I've gotten the most views ever on my YouTube channel, and I just gave a guest lecture. No one asked me to do this work. I just started doing work and asking if I could share it or collaborate, and then people said, yeah, sure. Well, something's obviously working. It seems to me that what I need to continue to do is get in a shorter line. What does that mean? It means that lots of people want to get the sexy job title, be best-selling authors, get on the New York Times bestseller list, win a Grammy, be recognized in some giant form or fashion, but those lines are really long. I've decided that I'm going to focus on manifesting my ideas and continuing to be a lifelong student instead of working for a big name or accolade or a big title, because the goal is to do my work and share it with people that relate to it. If any big time recognition happens, cool. If it doesn't, that's cool too. The reason I was feeling sorry for myself, aside from residual trauma, was I was frustrated by being in the wrong line. So, in other words, I need to make like the resilience of the main character in an Asian drama and persist. Specifically, the rational life. I really feel Shen Roshan struggle. Speaking of doing the work, I am currently doing NaNoWriMo and it is absolutely kicking my behind, but I'm using some strategies to get through it. Number 1 on the list is doing research, aka looking at other stories, and I'm currently reading Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen, and this has been so helpful, inspiring, and she's doing things in her book that I've been wondering if I could do. Now that I have that affirmation, I feel a little less crazy. Even so, the hardest part of the whole thing is actually sitting down and writing it. I have to keep reiterating to myself that the first draft is going to be trash, and it's meant to be because I'm just trying to tell myself the story. And on top of that, that's how book 1 started. So the only way I'll be able to write the second book is to put one word after the other. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you feel encouraged today. Take a look at what's working in your life. Celebrate it and continue to pursue it. It might be more obvious than you think. Also, get in a shorter line.